Gardening is often about experimentation. Sometimes, the simplest actions yield the most astonishing results. I recently tried something that many backyard gardeners might overlook. I filled a shallow trench in my garden with nothing but fresh grass clippings. At first, it seemed like just another way to dispose of yard waste, but what happened over the next 14 days completely changed the way I think about soil management and moisture retention. The results were not only surprising, they were transformational. Grass clippings can be more than just waste. They're a hidden treasure for soil. Many gardeners view grass clippings as a nuisance, something to bag or compost. Yet these clippings are packed with nitrogen, moisture and organic matter, which are exactly what a soil-deprived garden needs. When placed directly in a trench and left to decompose, grass clippings begin a rapid transformation, feeding beneficial microorganisms and improving soil texture. What's fascinating is how quickly this process begins. Within a matter of days, the clippings start breaking down, releasing nutrients and moisture that the surrounding soil eagerly absorbs. How to set up a grass clipping trench for maximum effect? Start by selecting a location in your garden that could use extra moisture and nutrient support. Dig a shallow trench about 4 to 6 inches deep and 6 to 12 inches wide, depending on your garden bed. Layer the grass clippings directly into the trench, packing them lightly without crushing them. For larger beds, multiple parallel trenches can create a network of nutrient channels. Cover the clippings with a thin layer of soil to prevent them from drying out or blowing away. Water lightly to jumpstart the decomposition process. This setup creates a microenvironment where moisture is retained, nutrients are concentrated, and soil microbes thrive. The science behind decomposing grass and soil health. Grass is naturally high in nitrogen, one of the primary nutrients plants need for growth. When left in a trench, microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi rapidly consume the clippings, releasing nitrogen, phosphorus, and other trace elements into the soil. This microbial activity also generates heat, which accelerates decomposition and improves soil structure. Essentially, you're turning a simple pile of clippings into a nutrient-packed, self-hydrating layer that feeds your plants without the need for synthetic fertilizers. Over 2 weeks, this process transforms the trench from a simple deposit of grass into a living system that enriches surrounding soil. Why does moisture retention improve so much with grass trenches, you might wonder? Well, beyond just nutrients, grass clippings sort of act like a sponge, holding water in the trench and slowly releasing it into the nearby soil. This is especially valuable during those dry spells, when the surface soil dries out really quickly. The decomposing grass, it actually reduces evaporation, keeps the soil temperature steadier, and provides a consistent supply of moisture right to the plant roots. In my own experience, after about 14 days, the trenched area was noticeably softer and darker than the rest of the soil, which really shows there's more water content and increased microbial activity happening down there. So, how does this work in practice for different kinds of gardens? For raised beds, you can fill trenches with grass clippings and place them right along the root zones of your vegetables, tomatoes, or leafy greens. In in-ground gardens, you just dig trenches along the rows of plants to form these continuous nutrient belts. And even if you've got a larger landscape, the same idea applies. A series of shallow trenches scattered throughout can really boost both soil fertility and moisture retention. The best part about this method, honestly, is its simplicity. You're making use of resources you already have in your yard, cutting down on waste and improving your soil health all at the same time. Right, so let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid when using grass clippings. Not all grass clippings are ideal, you know. It's best to steer clear of any clippings that have been treated with herbicides or pesticides, as those chemicals can really harm the beneficial microbes living in your soil. Also, make sure the clippings are fresh. Dried-out grass takes longer to break down, and honestly, it just doesn't hold water as well. Another thing to watch for is layering the trench too thickly. If you pile it on too much, it can compact and slow down decomposition, but if the layer is too thin, it might not hold enough moisture to make a real difference. So, finding the right balance is key to making sure your trench does exactly what you want it to. Now, for even better results, you can combine grass trenches with other soil improvement techniques. For example, after you've placed your clippings in the trench, try topping it off with a thin layer of compost or leaf mulch. This adds even more organic matter, helps prevent nitrogen loss through volatilization, and further reduces evaporation. Over time, as the grass and the extra organic material break down together, they really work their way into the soil, giving you a lasting boost in both texture and fertility. What makes this method so fascinating, I think, is just how quickly you see results. Within only 2 weeks, the area you trenched is noticeably darker, softer, and richer in nutrients. You can almost feel the difference under your hands when you work the soil. And the plants nearby, they respond too, showing more vigorous growth, healthier leaves, and stronger root systems. It's a simple practice that takes hardly any effort, yet the results are right up there with more labour-intensive or expensive soil amendments. Filling trenches with grass clippings? Well, it's a powerful and often overlooked technique that brings big benefits to both your soil and your plants. It recycles yard waste, boosts fertility, improves moisture retention, and creates a thriving environment for those all-important microbes. After just 14 days, you'll notice the difference. Healthier soil, more resilient plants, and a self-sustaining system that needs less water and fertilizer. So, if you found this guide helpful and you'd like more backyard wisdom that turns everyday materials into powerful gardening tools, go ahead and subscribe to Hydro Haven. And do share this with your fellow enthusiasts. Sometimes the simplest ideas, like a trench filled with grass, can completely change the way we grow food and care for our soil.